All right, congratulations. You've made it to the end of week 2. We have covered quite a bit of ground this week, and we're going to end with something you learned how to do in attendance, and it builds upon a lot of what we've learned already. And it hopefully is a fun thing we're going to do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and this is a discussion which should cue you in, and I kind of hinted at this in the last video, as it will be using your public repos. Okay, so we did week 2 last time. We already set up screenshots. You can already see I have a new file here. So this gives you kind of a hint, right? So one of the milestones for any new developer is discovering the inspect tool. Now, as you grow in your knowledge, you will learn that's actually called the dev tools for Chrome. And actually for every browser on the market, they have a version of this. Okay. And it is just a way because what we're building is web pages. So why don't we build tools into web browsers that allow us to troubleshoot and see what's happening? Okay. And so what you're going to do here, and this should be the hack, the fun part, is that, open Chrome. Again, if you're going to use a different browser, you just have to know how to do a similar thing. Most of them have some things very similar, and navigate to your favorite site. Okay. Now, for me, I'm actually going to use a site related to my project. You don't have to, right? But I will just show you. So actually, Ruby is the software that I run on actually run on my laptop. Then I stream onto my Peloton to allow me to do virtual rides, and it's very cool. I have a great time doing it. So, but this is true just so I could show you for any website. Like if I was to go to, let's say, I don't want to go to Google News. Who knows what's there? Let's say I go to Fresno City College, right? This is going to be true for any site you've ever been at, that you can right click and at the very bottom there's inspect. Okay. Now for something like this is a carousel. When I inspect, right, then I could kind of come through here and try to just and watch what happens just as you move through and in this case it's the elements, and the elements are what the page is built of. Some of this we've seen, some of it, of course, most of it we have not. But you will start, the more you develop your skill set, the more you will recognize things in the elements tab. Okay. But one really kind of fun thing you can do is you can right click on a specific, and in this case, text or image. Now, images are a little more challenging to change, but you actually know how to give an external reference. So you could play with that idea. But let's say I hit here on about, I wanted to come hit inspect. And what that would do is take me, now in this case, I might need to pull it over. Oh yeah, I see the text. So if I said about Rio here, right? That when I hit enter, then updates the page. Okay. And that's kind of a fun thing to do. Now you're only temporarily updating it. Once you hit refresh, it goes back. Okay. But it's really the idea that every web page, really underneath it, is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other things. And of course, part of that is images. So in this case, I would right click here, I would hit inspect, right? And now where this says, and this is in one of those, oh, I see it's an H1. Oh, okay. So in this case, now watch what happens for my, in my particular setup, is because I have my dev tool set to be responsive. The page is actually responding by dropping some of the content, which happens. But here's what I can do is I can come over here to where it says, and then this is where I could scroll over. Let's see if I can get it to scroll. Actually, I just have to do it this way. Okay. Indoor cycling got real. See, Rio hacked her Peloton. And now when I hit enter and I come back over here, then I've changed that. Okay. Okay. So find something that you want to have fun with. Okay. Now you're going to take a print screen of this and you're going to end up and you're going to embed it like we did in the attendance. Okay. But find something that is fun for you and it might be fun to share with the course, with the students in the course. Now, in this case, right? I do want you to have at least a little on the print screen showing the dev tools, and in the case, the inspect output here, right? And so I'm going to take that print screen, and in this case, it's going to be rather large, right? Now, this is the part we've given you the how to do, right? So now that you take it, you'd resize it using the tools that we've talked about, right? Okay, so this is the part we just did. Now it does talk about if you want to change an image, you're welcome to do that. You just have to have a location where you have that and as an external reference. But, hit enter and you'll see the live changes. So now take your print screen, right? Give your print screen a good name once you resize it. Oh, that's good. I'm glad I saw this. You do need to resize that thing because that, based on your screen resolution, is rather large. So I will put a line in here saying something around 800 would probably be a good number. Okay, so I'm going to do mine real quick. Okay, so I did that. I took my print screen, I went over to my favorite web-based squish, and I modified, I brought it in, I resized it. It was rather large. And then I went ahead and gave it the compression encoding I wanted, and then I downloaded it. Okay, so I do have it now on and I will go ahead and go back into here. Okay, now I'm going to end up deleting this one because this was one I was playing with earlier, so you won't have any here. But remember in week 1 where we set up this screenshot, right? So for me, my image right here, I'm going to drag into that screenshot. Very cool. Okay. And now you can see I resize it to about 800. So it looks a little better and I can actually see the words I changed and that it was in the inspect. Okay. So now let's go see if I have a commit message. I do, the inspect screenshot. Okay. So let me go ahead and version control this so I can then use it. Okay. So I could go screen S. I could do it from the root, but get add star, get commit -m. Okay, and now get push because I need it to be available to me out on the web. Okay, so at this point, now what I would do is actually see if I can take that, remember in the README file, and I said you're going to need this, right? So let's actually, I don't know if I said that. I said it for the last one, so let's do it for this one now, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up embedding it, okay? Oh, good. I get to change this because I actually did. No, that is actually very similar to what I had. So this is the embedding, okay? But in order for me to embed this image like we did in attendance, what do I have to do? I have to first go to my GitHub URL. So I'm going to copy it here. It doesn't really matter wherever you want to get it, okay? Right now, oh yeah, GitHub public -public. Cool. So I know that one works. So then I'd go screenshots. Okay. And now if I hit enter here, it's not going to work because I have to specify the actual name of the file. Okay. Right here is the name of the file. So I need to be very specific when I say rio-ru.p. Let's see if I get it right or if I have to change. Oh, very cool. Okay. So part of this is just relearning what we did with attendance so that once you get this URL, you're almost there. Okay. So once you have a URL that shows your print screen that you took from doing the inspect hack, now you're ready to embed it into your post. Okay. So I come down to here, right? I'm going to actually hit edit on this one. Actually, I am going to do a new one. This was one I was playing around with earlier. Okay. So do you remember how we did this on attendance? Here, upload image, URL, paste that. Oh, I didn't grab it. Okay, good. I thought I did. Copy, paste, right? Rio's hacked. Ruby site output. Okay, whatever you want to put there. And we'll talk more about why these are important. Now, for me, because of the way my image is actually, or my screen is so high in resolution to make it easier to see, it's hard to see it, but I can see there's a submit there. And then if it works, cool, right? Then I should see it show up in the browser. Okay. So in this case, right, here's how we grade, right? And I was thinking about this after I talked about it on the last reply, or in the last one where I still had 2 as the number of replies. The reason I've moved it to 1 is I want you to actually make it substantive, right? Make it meaningful. And in this case, think about it, right? So once we embed the image, write something that connects this experience to your free code camp work or to the stuff we did in attendance, right? When you looked at the raw code, did you recognize any of that? Just, how does it feel to realize every site on the web is built with the same basic HTML, right? And then, share a laugh with one of your classmates. I mean, because really, the idea is when we have fun with things, it's generally more fun to learn. Okay, so this is how I grade. Did you get the print screen? And I will include the resizing in here, right? Uh, did your post reflect on the dev tools experience or something like that, right? And provide a meaningful reply. All right, we did it. We are now through with week 2. Have a great one. Talk to you later.